Hello and welcome to the Tuesday after Monday Raw review. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, I am AD. And aside from being a gamer, I was a former WWE fan a long time ago. But thanks to video games, I got my interest back in and have been catching up with wrestling for the past year to culminate in WrestleMania 41. If you'd like to know my review of WrestleMania 41 and what I thought about it, you can check out my previous upload with this 2K16 showcase, and I'll give you my thoughts there. But now on to the show. As we know, the Raw after WrestleMania is the season premiere for the next year. This is what sets the tone, lets us know what we should expect, especially because the culmination of the entire year is WrestleMania. So we are on week one, first Raw, April 21st, 2025, on the road to WrestleMania 42. This whole episode was nothing but a recap and a time waster. And by that, I just mean that they showed us everything that was happening during the WrestleMania weekend. On top of that, they just wasted time. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they're like, you know what, this is season premiere, so we could just take it easy. But it just didn't set any kind of good tone because all they did was rehash and repeat everything we've had the past year and everything that just happened in WrestleMania. But let's run this down. So the Cena segment to start it off, again, he comes out in the all black, only letters, no, just his music, just him coming out. That entrance would have been good for tonight. He shouldn't have used that yesterday. If you guys haven't watched WrestleMania night 2 when he came out, it was the same entrance he did tonight. He should have done the entrance he did tonight just for tonight. He should have came out before, however he wanted to, but not like that. Because now we just get the same thing. And he got in the ring. He talked his ish, He said what he wanted to say. He's in an abusive relationship. He's not going to take it anymore. That's how he, that's how he sees it. That's how he feels. I can't blame the guy for feeling like that because he did have good points. The crowd cheers one moment and the next night was cheering for Cena, even though Cena is obviously the heel, even though you guys were supposed to like Cody, but then got tired of Cody. Yeah, it's not a functioning relationship. He was calling everybody out, and good for him. He said it with his whole chest. The one thing that does seem to be weird is that he absolutely told us how long he's going to be in this. During WrestleMania, Michael Cole let us know that in October, John Cena will be his last performance in October. In October, they're going to go to Perth, Australia. It's going to be like a 4-day week. They're going to do a SmackDown, a Raw, and a pay-per-view event there. And John Cena's last performance is going to be in October. So from now to October, we have, what did he say? We have 27 more appearances from John Cena from now until October when he officially finishes, and no more will he continue to fight. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's obvious that he wants to keep the title belt until he retires and it stays with him. I don't know if they're going to let that happen. I don't know if he's going to have to give it up or are they actually going to vacate it. But Randy Orton seems to have something to say. I'm okay with Randy Orton coming out. I mean, he was known as the Legend Killer when he first came out. When I was still kind of into it, he's the Legend Killer. He's the one who's able to take down all of these guys with years of history and experience. And John Cena absolutely is the next legend to take down. Now, when is Randy going to win it? Is he going to win it in October so John Cena doesn't retire with the belt? Is he going to win it well before then? Is somebody else going to win it before Cena and then Cena wins it back in October? We'll see how it plays out. But we got 27 more appearances from John Cena. And even like John Cena said himself, he doesn't even need to wrestle. He can just come outside and do a promo. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't even need to wrestle. So, as I mentioned before, I absolutely want my champions to be workhorses. I like champions that defend their titles. If I don't need you to do it every week, but every other week, every 2 weeks. But John Cena seems to be hell-bent on I'm going to defend my title as little as possible. He was already on a part-time basis. Now as champion, he's even going to be on that even harder. So it kind of sucks because I want my champions to be able to defend and show off why they still earn it. If Cena takes this route of, I'm just gonna, relax and do promos and do some work and not even get into the ring to fight again until October, well, that just kind of sucks. But Randy, I guess, it is a good choice to be the next person in line. I don't mind him as champion, and maybe he will be a workhorse and actually defend the title more times. And he is known as the Legend Killer, and Cena is a bona fide legend, so that's his next target. But aside from that, I liked it for Cena keeping to his heel tactics. Calling out the fans is always good. To call out the people and their hypocrisy, and they didn't care. They cheered for him. They booed him. They cheered for him. The audience doesn't know what the hell to do with John Cena. But all we know is that October is his last performance. So we have him 27 more times from here to October. Next up, we have a tag team fight for the tag team belts. First issue that I have with this. We saw this fight yesterday at WrestleMania. Why are we doing the same match we had in WrestleMania? Second issue I have a problem with. I keep seeing and hearing rumors that apparently that injury that Bayley had that had to have Becky Lynch come back was apparently fake. And it was done to have Becky Lynch come back, which I absolutely despise. Just like I despise it with Charlotte Flair, just like I despise it with The Rock, just like I despise it with anybody who doesn't wrestle for any amount of time, comes back and all of a sudden gets to cut the line. You're acting like Hulk Hogan. I don't like Hulk Hogan like that. He bitched and complained his way through everything he wanted. Don't forget what Hulk Hogan did to WCW. Don't forget how he treated Macho Man. Don't forget how he snitched on Jesse Ventura. He complained and bitched to get to the top of the line every time, and that entitlement is absolutely off-putting. And now Becky doing that, getting Bayley out when Bayley has been going to wrestling. She has been doing and putting in the work, and now she has to give it up so Becky can have a moment. A moment which, by the way, has become absolutely stupid and useless. You cannot have a follow-up to a match, to a match, to a championship title belt change. You can't have that. You can't have that and then just reverse it the next night. It makes the past irrelevant. Becky Lynch coming back was nothing. Her and Val winning the tag belts were nothing. They lost it the next night. It was stupid. It renders the past stupid. I saw this match yesterday. Why do I am seeing it again? Did they not have a new idea? I mean, I know that defending champions who lost their belts gets to have a rematch clause. I get that. But they win it immediately after? That shows me that they don't have any female tag team to actually put the belts on, that they gave it back to Liv and Raquel. Because they're like, you know what, let's just give it back to them. Even though they had it, even though they defended it, even though they did what they had to do, and they lost it at WrestleMania, the biggest show, and they lost it with one of the biggest women talents out there, they just gave it right back. They just gave it right back. They lost it, and they gave it right back the next night. That's not good. That just tells me that they have no idea what they're going to do with female tag team. So let's just give it back to Liv and Raquel. The match was okay. Again, I saw it last night on WrestleMania. It was still slow. It seemed like they weren't choreographing it right. It seemed that they weren't. I don't know. It was just like they were just repeating what they did last night. That's all it was. And Raquel again with her boots and everything. That's all she does. I don't see Raquel as a good wrestler. I know there was some talk or something that she's like this whole. She's this new. What was it? Shane Diesel, Diesel and Shawn Michaels tag team back in the day. Apparently that's what they're comparing Raquel and Liv Morgan with. That's ridiculous because at least Diesel had presence. He had character. If I don't see Raquel wrestling, I absolutely forget she's even there. So she really is like not even like she doesn't even matter into the match. But they won it back. Becky hitting, Val, blaming her for the loss. Okay, is Becky gonna go heel? I mean, she literally was gone for almost a year, and then came back, won the tag belt in WrestleMania, and lost it the next night. And then turned heel on her partner, who apparently she was the mentor to. So now, what are they doing? Is she going to be heel? Is she going to come back? Is there going to be more of Becky throughout the year? Or is she going to be here on a part-time basis? Will we see her in next week? In the next 2 weeks? Are we going to see her before the end of the month? Or are we going to see her in 3-4 months? I guess time will tell, but this match was a huge time waster. And I saw it the night before, so it didn't need to happen. They don't know what to do with female tag teams. So that's why they're going to just give it back to Raquel and Liv. Next up was the American Made segment. I don't know who these jokers were. Like, why the hell are you guys coming out? Their segment was cut short. Nobody gave a damn. They weren't invited to WrestleMania, but they show up on the Raw to say what? Nothing. It was a waste of time. Get out of my screen. Then the New Day came out to have to boast about their title win against the Viking Raiders. Okay. Again, it's very much like the female tag team where it's like they don't know what to do with the tag team. So they just put it on New Day. Right, and then Alpha Academy comes out, and they're gonna get into it, and then Viking Raiders come out, and it's like, well, what's going on? What are we doing here? It's not. I don't know. It's not. It's gonna be Alpha Academy with New Day, and of course Rusev and a new partner. I don't know why Rusev came out by himself. I don't know what was that about. I mean, okay, it's been over a while since he's been gone. Now he's back. Okay, but what is he doing? He's not here with a partner, so what is he doing? Is he, like what is he doing? Is he going to team up with somebody? Is he bringing somebody back? Because now, from what I see, is going to be Alpha Academy, New Day, and Rusev with somebody. With who? I don't know. But seriously, the tag team division of this, it just sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if Viking Raiders get their titles back shortly. Next, we have a segment for Judgment Day. I think this is a setup for, of course, Ascension in the ranks with Finn Balor. It's obvious by the way Finn Balor was eyeing that belt on Dominic Mysterio's neck that, he wants it, and he's willing to absolutely backstab his friend. So, the segment was nothing more than just, I guess, a little tease of, dissension with Finn in the ranks. Next section was actually, I think, my favorite part of the entire... I think it was my favorite of the entire match, which was the Io Sky segment. It was very nice to see her come out. She did a good babyface promo where it was very much like, oh, she's very appreciative of getting it. She's enjoying herself. I liked it. Also, I liked, what was her name? Stephanie Vasquez coming out. Nice show of respect. Obviously, it seemed that they're going to build up to have them both be a tag team, which is good because I just mentioned how the tag team division of both male and female on this roster sucks. So now Stephanie and Io versus would be who? Roxanne and... who's the other one? Roxanne and who? I forgot her name now. Okay, but that's what's going to be. I enjoyed the match, even though, again, it felt kind of slow. It was the same issue I had in the previous women's matches with Charlotte Flair, also Jade and Naomi. It's like you can see the bumps and the moves that are coming before they're executed, so it just appears slow. I don't know if it's a botch. I don't know if it's too choreographed, but for some reason they just, it shows what they're going to do. But other than that, I enjoyed it. Io Sky was flying. Stephanie was flying. They were going back and forth. I enjoyed it. Another thing I appreciated was the accents. Not that, the accents made it better or whatever, but I just appreciated the diversity. It's nice to hear, people with different accents. At least women too, because mostly, we've had a few guys with different accents here and there, but women, showing us a more global representation of the population. So I really enjoyed that. But like I said, it looks like they're going to set up Io Sky and Stephanie as tag teams against Roxanne and Jenny. That was her name? Julie. It's going to be Julie and Roxanne versus Io Sky and Stephanie. Rhea Ripley came out to do a save. Okay. Obviously they're still going to push her to, fight for the belt. So, Io Sky might see herself in two feuds, maybe. Her teaming up with Stephanie to go against Roxanne and Julie, and then her against Rhea for, the women's belt. Okay. I didn't need Rhea to come out and save Io. Again, that just shows that like Io can't do anything without having somebody else to be there for her. I remember one of the most insulting things that Michael Cole said after the match in WrestleMania was, Io Sky will no longer be an afterthought after tonight. What the hell are you calling her an afterthought? She was already the champion. She retained her belt at WrestleMania, and what? She's been an afterthought this entire time. And now finally she gets something new. She gets something her own. She gets something herself with Stephanie and, Roxanne and Julie. And what happens? Rhea Ripley got to come out here and still be in the picture. Go away. Go away. You don't even wrestle that much. I didn't see Rhea Ripley wrestle as many times. She had a year to wrestle. She only wrestled, what, 4 or 5 times in a year? And she's still in this picture around the champion? Get away from her. Get away from her. Find something else for her to do. Because keeping her around hovering the belt just seems... It seems stupid. I don't like it. Stay away from her. But I do appreciate Io Sky getting her own stuff with Stephanie. I do hope it builds up because obviously Stephanie is a face as well. The way she, chastised Roxanne for interfering and stuff, and like she wanted to have an honorable match. Absolutely appreciate that. Hopefully they do become a tag team, and we'll see because we need some new blood, something new in the tag team division for both male and female. But for the men, I haven't seen anything. I don't know what we're gonna do there. But for the women's division, if there could be something against Liv and Raquel, I think that would be good. Because again, why give them back the belt that they lost the night before? It's ridiculous. Next segment, the Jey Uso segment. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that this was a time waster. I have no idea what the hell this was about. I have no idea what this is about. Jey Uso came out and he wanted to cut a promo. He didn't because the crowd was overtaking him. It was about the yeet. It was about the music. That's all it was. All he was able to get out before he was interrupted was that he's going to defend his title every week. As I mentioned in my previous WrestleMania review, and even now, I like my champions defending their belt. So if Uso's going to go out every week like he says to defend his belt, I'm all for it. Again, the belt doesn't make the character makes the belt. That's why I like my champions defending it, because it should show us how they have earned their belt and continue to earn to maintain their belt. If you're a champion and Cena, what Cena wants to do is just keep the belt and never wrestle again until October when he retires, it diminishes it. That's not going to be good. I need you to show us again and again why you've earned to maintain that belt. So Jey Uso comes out, we'll see if he keeps his promise. And then it gets interrupted by Sami Zayn. I thought Sami Zayn was gonna come out and be like, Uso, I want to be the first person to come and challenge you for that belt. Congratulations on beating Gunther. I want the belt now. I want a chance. No, it was just proud of you. Okay, Sammy, you couldn't tell me that shit backstage. You couldn't tell me that before I got outstage. You couldn't tell me that after. I was cutting a promo, my boy. I was chilling with the crowd, even though it was a huge time waste. All of it was a huge time waste. I thought that we were going to have something more. I thought we were going to, get something. But no, it literally was just a promo. This was a waste of time. So, yeah, whatever. It was what it was. It was nothing. You could have absolutely skipped it. Jey Uso only got a few, sentences in before he was interrupted, which came after he taking up his sweet time with the crowd, just, yeeting and just saying the same thing and just clapping. Nothing was said other than I'm going to defend my belt every week. Well, let's see if you're going to keep to that. Let's see if you'll keep to that, Jey Uso. So, yeah, it was a total time waster. The AJ segment, it was okay. Again, it was very much just teasing that AJ, great he is. He's the heel. He's the honorable guy. He took his L like he did. He's going to move on from it. Logan Paul showing his heel tactic. Good on him. He doesn't care. He's going to do whatever. He's the money man. The company knows what he can do. He's number one. I'm pretty sure I mean, I don't know, but it is possible that they might push Logan to become world champion. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out because Logan Paul has been this, force. I mean, he came from social media. He's in this now. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if he's going to be a part-timer, though. That's what I don't like. Part-timers doing part-time work and then just cutting in line in front of everybody. So we'll see how Logan Paul plays out. Caden Cross needs to get away. Get away from AJ. Get away from the AJ told him straight out, like, dude, that's a you problem. I'm not going to, cheat and lie my way to win a match. I'm going to do it the right way. If I lose, I lose. Caden Cross needs to go home. I don't know what he was doing around. He wasn't in WrestleMania. Why are you hanging around the stadium? Go home. Nobody called him. Nobody called Caden Cross, but he shows up. So, yeah, Caden Cross needs to go away. So all of that. And then we have the biggest time waster. This was before the Dom versus Penta match, which was, I totally missed the A-Town and the Viking Raiders coming out. Who cares? That's how much, like, I forgot about them. That's what it is to them. That's what they mean to me. I don't have no respect for the Viking Raiders. And A-Town from Down Under. Who cares? Again, they're trying to, like, build up the tag team, but nobody cares about these guys. And then they got interrupted by the Viking Raiders. They couldn't even finish it. If you guys watched it, you guys know the crowd did not give a shit. They did not care. There was no noise. This was dead. Both promos, nobody was giving a shit. The Viking Raiders were out there doing their war stuff. Nobody was chatting with them. They didn't give a shit. They don't care. Forget these guys. But the biggest time waster came out with Gunther and Pat McAfee. My Lord, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Is Pat McAfee, does he have a prior engagement that he's going to be gone for a couple of weeks? So they had to, play an injury angle to get him off TV because he's not going to be able to commentate anymore for a while. Is that what it is? Gunther coming out here, putting a hold on Michael Cole and Pat getting in. And then it's ridiculous. It's a time waster. We literally stayed and watched Pat McAfee get helped from the announce table all the way to backstage. I don't know what the hell was going on. This was the biggest waste of time. This is your Raw after Mania rehashing time wasting stuff. I don't need to see Pat McAfee get taken all the way to backstage. We saw him walk up the ramp, take 3-4 steps down. He had to get up again and back down again. Michael Cole, listen, man, I'm not going to be bullied, man. Michael Cole, shut the fuck up, man. You wrestled once, long time ago. I remember you in your orange spandex gear getting ready to wrestle. I remember that, but that was years ago. The gray hairs on your head, bro, don't give you justice, man. They don't give you that juice you need to take on anybody, let alone Gunther. And I guess, again, I think what they're doing is they have no idea what they're going to do with Gunther, so now he's just going to be a heel, just a general heel. Gunther could have came out when Jey Uso was out, but he didn't. He waited until after that to come out and start beef with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous and a time waster. So again, I think Pat McAfee probably has something else he's got to do, so he won't be on commentary anymore for some time. So they just had this to, keep Gunther, in the back burner or something, doing something, because they have no one else. Even though they could have had Gunther come out during Jey Uso, but they were like, no, it's fine. And then we go to the Dom and Penta fight. Again, I saw this match yesterday at WrestleMania. Sure, it was a fatal 4-way with them, but it didn't matter. I still saw Penta and Mysterio fight. What the hell was this? This match was nothing. It wasn't even a real match. It was really just something to get the teasing of dissension with Finn Balor. That's what it was. Because we saw it in the beginning of the show when he was eyeing that belt. We saw it when he's hesitating to help out Dom. You know, he's gonna start backing away from Judgment Day. He's gonna start kind of resenting them and Dom especially, and there's gonna be more fight. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that Finn Balor and Dom start mixing it up and start fighting each other. Sure, because if you guys noticed, the original members of Judgment Day are gone. You know, Damian Priest is gone, Rhea Ripley's gone, Finn Balor and Rey Mysterio, Dawn Mysterio, excuse me, are the only ones there. You know, they picked up Raquel and Liv and Carlito, but Finn wants the belt. He wants the belt. We'll see if he gets his push. Total waste of a match. I did not care for it. I just saw it on WrestleMania. They did the same few things. It was nothing new. I guess it's a good way for him to start his title reign. You know, he defended against Penta, so now we'll see if Dom Mysterio is a workhorse or if he's gonna do like Cena does and just come out every couple of months to defend it, even though, you know, there is plenty of other guys that could use that push with the belt. But we'll see how it turns out. And then the last time waster of the night was the Seth Rollins segment with Paul Heyman. Again, I saw this last night. I think they even pulled out the same set of sequences as WrestleMania. Okay, I think that's what they had a spear, they had a curb stomp. You know, I think they had the same sequence last night. It wasn't even anything. It was a total time waster. Seth Rollins did nothing, and then Braun Breaker comes out and teams up with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Man, get out of here. Again, this is a season premiere for the next year for WrestleMania 42, and this season premiere it did nothing. Other than a little bit of a tease with Finn Balor, other than possibly showing us a team up between Io Sky and Stephanie, you know, Becky going heel on her mentee. It was nothing new. They rehashed it and recapped it. We'll see what happens on SmackDown. We'll see what happens next week. Dom wins his first title defense. So, you know, that's one on the books for him. And Jey Uso says he's going to defend his belt every week. So hopefully next week we'll see him defend his belt. If not, you know, like I said, I don't need it every week, every other week, every 2 weeks. I'm okay with the champion defending. So we'll see when Jey Uso will actually officially defend his title belt. Other than that, this whole entire episode was a waste of time. The matches were just what we saw at WrestleMania, alongside little storyline stuff. You could have missed this. You could have missed this because next week they're going to recap this. They're going to tell us what happened today next week, so we didn't even need to see the little, you know, possible seed starting of dissension with Finn Balor and team up with Io Sky and Stephanie. So, this is a Raw after Mania. You're still riding that high, you know. You still end on a good note. Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, the same sequence with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. No talking. It was just a straight up finisher fest. Braun Breaker comes out. He teams up. So now what? The only thing that could possibly be salvageable is Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and then CM Punk and Roman Reigns team up. That would actually be pretty cool. Because I think Roman Reigns and CM Punk would absolutely be the type of guys that they'll be like able to put their differences aside and be like, you know what? Let's team up and take this guy down. You know, they want to take down Seth, but Seth's got Braun Breaker on next to him too, so let's take him down. And we'll see if they try to push them as tag team champs, because Lord knows that they need variety and depth in the tag team division, because they all suck right now. So that's the Raw after Mania, the season premiere for WrestleMania, on the road to WrestleMania 42. I'll give it 1 star out of 5 if you need a rating. It was nothing special, especially because next week they're going to recap what happened today. So you didn't even need to watch this at all. You could have just stayed home. So yeah, I guess get your money's worth, you know. If you have Netflix to watch it, but don't bother with it. We're gonna get a recap and we're gonna see everything again next week anyways. So we'll see how it turns out. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys on Saturday for the Saturday after Friday SmackDown. If you guys are interested in more review of this Raw, aside from what WWE puts out, I absolutely recommend the channel CJax525 and also Wrestling in Color podcast. They've been absolutely great in my catching up with Raw and SmackDown prior to WrestleMania 41. Check them out. Links are in the description. See you guys later. Bye.